Hello everyone, and welcome to May's garden tour. Come join me as we take a look around the garden in May. What a difference a month makes. Last month's garden tour, there were barely any leaves budding, and now it's just full of green leaves. The new lawn is coming in, actually starting to look like a green carpet. The ferns are returning. Violets still blooming. Life returning to the trees and the shrubs. Life returning to the weeds. And sometimes they don't come back. This is my patch of sedge lawn, and for some reason it just didn't come back. This section, it's the same as the sedge lawn over there, which came back, and this one just didn't. I don't really know. Usually by this time of year we can tell what makes it through the winter and what doesn't. And these trees made it through the winter. This will be their second season in our yard. We put them in almost a year ago. What you're looking at here is a hazelnut or filbert tree. You can see one behind it in the distance. And they are looking great. As are our two apple trees. One here and one here. And every once in a while you get some surprises, like this. This is a chamomile plant that I planted last year. I did get it in the ground a little bit late. And I thought at the time I was planting German chamomile, which is the annual. But it didn't die over the winter. So then I thought maybe I had put in the Roman chamomile, which is a lower growing sort of ground cover perennial. And now you can see it is definitely German chamomile, growing tall, and it's going to put on some blooms, which will be great for harvesting tea. And that is a surprise. I think I may later this year try and plant some late German chamomile and see if it'll overwinter and give me early flowers. Look how great that plant looks too. The lettuce we planted is looking nice. Growing on. More lettuce down there. Some are not growing as well as others. Don't know why. This is the rocky top lettuce. I actually didn't think these were going to survive. And that's the first of the garlic that I'll show you today. Looking good. Lots of plants waiting to go in the garden and pots. Look at those dianthus. Might be time to pot those up. Let me see. Yep, probably time to pot up. Overwintered plants, acclimating to the daytime outside. The geraniums we potted up recently. Look at this. That is a bitter orange or a Seville orange. 2 little baby trees. My rosemary that survived the winter indoors. Some peppers, overwintered. The Peruvian ground cherry, I have 3 that overwintered. Those are going in the ground very soon. The one ashwagandha that made it through the winter, that's gonna get a bigger pot. Everything waiting for slightly warmer conditions. Tomatoes, peppers, squashes. Probably next week, hibiscus. Some a little slower than others. Some basil. More ground cherries. A little stevia. Some tarragon marigold. Some lettuce, I've been harvesting these. Apple blossom marigolds. Sweet peas. More basil. More chamomile. Oregano. More squash. Some seedlings just getting their first days outside. Melons. Okra. Parsley. These front beds growing in a little bit. I still haven't started another round of those yet. Safflower. Look how big. Look how much bigger those are. Those are the painted daisies. Japanese maple in its glory. In the background, the saucer magnolia finishing up. Look at those reds. Look. And here's the other section. I may try to put more chamomile in there. It is about time for the first harvest of some of these cut leaf coneflower greens. This is Roman chamomile. Native lupin. Golden Alexander. Valerian officinalis. Bone set. That's the other Zizia, heart-leafed Alexander. Buds on the clematis, growing nicely. Still sad looking lemon thyme, peonies. Peeking out from behind the Amsonia. And from underneath the dwarf columbine. And the daisies with their stripy buds. And the native clematis returning after the winter, getting ready to grow. Look at that view. I love this view. So here we are at the top of the wall garden, or the garden above the wall. Hydrangea coming in nicely. Heuchera starting to put out some bloom shoots. Yarrow, violet, Monarda fistulosa, lavender, evergreen candy tuft. Some of the sage over there looks like it's putting out some bloom stalks. Let's go around this way today. Here's the hydrangea. And the heuchera. And the yarrow. And the pretty violets. Some Monarda that looks like a curly dock or yellow dock. It's a volunteer. More yarrow. Little bearberry bush survived the year. Ooh, it's got some growth on it this time. That is the one rose campion I'm allowing. I think this is probably one of the lobelias. Autumn joy sedum. Ooh, look at this pretty. This is I think it's a cultivar, or nativar, maybe you want to call it, of little blue stem. Lots of new little things coming in. We can talk about those as they get bigger. Buddleia returning. Ooh. Trout lily. Peonies. Looking good. Might put on a good show. Got some more little seedlings. I think those are more lobelia, if I remember. Other hydrangea. Steeplebush. Look at that giant hosta. This is a legacy plant. I didn't plant this. It just comes back every year. Joe Pye weed. Soft and fuzzy. Waiting on some little things. Little tiny itty bitty things in here. More hostas. That is the beautyberry I planted last year. Grew from seed. I'm pretty sure that is some goldenrod I planted. Dogwood. Dogwood. Black cherry. And let's not forget the saucer magnolia. I want you just to take a look from underneath the canopy here. It's so pretty. Look. Oh, what do we have? Daffodils still going. Ferns coming in. See the ferns back there. We have a sea of yellow and blue. Clearly dandelions in here. And then the muscari. poison ivy coming in too. Time to keep an eye out for that. Witch hazel. Got another witch hazel right over there. This carpet is creeping bellflower. I do not want it, but it does want to be here. It's everywhere. It's about time to come in for a harvest. Here's the other witch hazel. Daffodil still going. Solomon seal coming in. Getting some flowers on. White snake root. Oh, look at that. That's a wood poppy. I planted a bunch of things along in there. They're not big enough yet though. We'll watch for them. More lupin. Lots of things coming in down here. Pygnanthium. Geranium. Cranesbill. Monarda fistulosa. All of these are maple seedlings. Sugar maple. Agastache. Lots of daffodils. Mayapple. Solomon seal. Look at this beauty. Look at that. I wonder if there's a flower yet. Woo. Little spot of echinacea. Look at these. Planted a bunch of little things. These are the native Aquilegia, red columbine. I put these in really late last year. I'm glad they're returned. Grape. I should move that soon, huh? Wood poppy. Look at its sweet little fuzzies. Look, little baby wood poppies. Look, very nice. This is actually an invasive one, if I'm not mistaken. Celandine, maybe? Similar, not the same though. They seem to be happy in here. Spreading out some. Some things returning. That might be a meadow rue. Some sort of goldenrod maybe. I need to look back at what I planted. Strawberries. All of these are strawberries. Obviously maple seedlings too. Yellow root, which seems to be spreading. Fantastic. I figured it might be a little dry for it in here, but it seems to be doing all right. And it looks like we're getting little blooms. Aren't those pretty? So delicate. Scented geranium, returning and making a beautiful carpet. Some little things. More Solomon seal. The Virginia creeper is starting to creep along the wall. I've started to clean up the flower beds. Still lots of cleaning up to do though. This Aqualegia will have red flowers on it soon. Joe Pye weed. Lobelia. Yarrow. Steeplebush. That's the candy tuft. This is a blue Aqualegia, not the native, this is the cultivar. A little something. Returning. Okay, we gotta talk about this Virginia rose. It is definitely moving soon, maybe even later today. I think I even know where I'm gonna put it. It's beautiful, look at it. But it needs to be somewhere where it can spread out and not through my wall. Underneath this rose offshoot, we have a wild live forever. Penstemon digitalis, I think. Maybe this hirsutus. Oswego, this is the scarlet monarda. Sage. Pycnanthium. Common milkweed shoots. More lavender. My favorite, spotted bee balm. Thyme. Sage. This is the sage I grew from seed last year. About to put on some buds. Little skull caps coming in. Yarrow. Sedum. Heuchera. Milkweed. And a project. I need to propagate this lemon thyme and take that out of there. Put some new fresh ones in. Wish me luck on that. I have not had success with propagating. And we're back to the top. The Amelantia is done, serviceberry, done flowering. Hoping we get some berries. Lots of flowers on it this year. This is the Allegheny serviceberry. My red bud. More blooms on it this year. Sparse, but definitely everywhere. No blooms yet on the dogwood. Loving life though, look how big it is. Sleep, creep, leap. Definitely leaping. Look at these tiny little things. My street front native plant garden is starting to fill out. Starting to get some things returning. Sneezeweed, Helenium autumnale, calico aster. That's a burning bush. They do spread. Gotta get that out of there. A little bit of meadowsweet. Little zizia. Button bush getting its leaves. Some of the baptisia. Looks like it might have taken and is gonna grow some for me this year. Look at that. All right, take a look at this little bit of mess right here. So I've got some little seedlings here that I just planted last year, growing in. Right over there, I've got the baptisia. This is a creeping cinquefoil. And then lots of grass still to get rid of. But little things are coming in. And little things turn into bigger things. Look at this. That's the bone set. And that's a penstemon and a calico aster and a zizia. And behind it, swamp thistle. Well, so look, these looked like those last year, and this year, look at them. This is what happens when you plant stuff from seed. They take a while. They just take a while, but they do get bigger. This will be year number 2. Year number 3 for these. Second year blooming. Year number 2 for that one. First year blooming, if it blooms. Look at the pasture thistle. Ah, it's so cool. Can't wait to see it spike. And that is tall coreopsis. Ooh, looking good. Solidago rugosa. Looking good here too. This is the purple monarda. Wee meadowsweet. Lots of little wee things. There's another wee something. Agastache maybe? Can't remember. That is a St. John's wort maybe? Pycnanthium. Agastache. All right, so check it out. So the Agastache and the Pycnanthium, this will be their 3rd year. Okay, and that is its 2nd year. That is its 2nd year, but it will come in more like this and that in future years. as its root system develops, it gets bigger. Here we go. Second year. Here we go. Look at this one. Elderberry. I'm hoping for some blooms from the elderberry. So this will be its third year, and that'll be its second year. That one's gonna grow a lot this year. This one flowered for me for the first time last year. All right, I planted a bunch of things in here last year, and I see very few of them because there's so much grass. I think I can spot a couple. That's maybe downy wood mint, one of the wood mints, I think. That's a penstemon. Behind it, I think that's another wood mint. There are other things in here. I need to come in here very carefully with the string trimmer and trim back a lot of the grass. There's a Solidago odara right there. The plants will do fine. Most of these are meadow plants, so they're used to growing with grass, although not this grass. I think this is a Kentucky bluegrass. But I would like to see them, so I gotta try to do something about that. Watch this space. Here, let's take a look back. Lots of room in here to do stuff. I think this might be a little animal trail. That's a good one. I'll have to make sure to leave something there. Lots of space in here, lots of cleanup to do. This little corner down here, my hell spot, I started working on this first of all of the street front areas. So this is its third, maybe fourth year for some of the plants here. And it is starting to look a lot more full of plants. Clearly there's still some grass, because this, I only started working on this part more recently, but I hated mowing this section. It was all grass before. So that's where I started planting things. And you can see, it actually looks more like a garden. This is a tall cinquefoil, Ohio spiderwort, eastern prickly pear cactus, sweet fern. Here's the prickly pear. Here's the sweet fern. That's the original one. You can see it's got flowers and it's putting out shoots. It likes where it is. Daylily that I've been trying to get rid of forever. Echinacea underneath it. Yarrow I just put in last year. Threadleaf coreopsis with a grass leaf goldenrod growing out of it. Lots of grass leaf reseeding itself. Very good, very good. Weed, that's a Lactuca cereola maybe. But that is it's one of the asters, smooth leaf aster, New England aster, Solomon seal. There's the sweet fern. Planted a bunch of things in here. Spotted bee balm, cranesbill, steeplebush, goldenrod. Getting there. Getting there. I put a lot of other little things in here too this year. This past, like in the fall, put in a lot of little things. So we'll see. So I actually managed to do a bit of cutting back of the grass down here. You can see my false cypress bushes. And there are some little things coming in. They were mostly low enough for me to be able to mow above them. Is there another little thing in there? Yep. This is the prairie thistle. It was the only thing really big enough to worry about. Other things are going to come through slowly but surely. But there really isn't much to look at down here yet. Because it's all really small. But I did want to show you the pussy toes, because they're doing great. Look at those little fuzzy things. I think this one is the Plantagenifolia. More there. Looking good. There's another one. So we're now in the West Triangle. You can see these blueberries have blooms. Okay, this is my shade garden, and I only started to put little tiny baby plants in here, so we won't see too much, at least not yet. And we have the lower orchard. Plum, pear, and peach. Peach doesn't look great. Look at that. Have to figure out what that is. Both peaches. Looks like a rust maybe? Gotta check that out. And I did a bit of mowing. Have a bit more to do for the future meadow over here. I don't even think that's a this year project though. I might start meadowing a little closer to the shade garden and work my way over a little bit at a time, because that's a lot. Look at how pretty it is under there. You can see the crab apples are done flowering. The sedge is still blooming though. Let me see. Finishing up. It looks so twinkly under there. Let's come through. Canada Mayflower is just about to start flowering. Pretty new growth on the Norway spruce. Lots of new growth on the poison ivy. This, I think, is where I want to put that rose. So Virginia rose. Got to do something about the poison ivy first, though. All right, let's take a quick look at what's going on with the winter sown. 95% of these are locally native to me. I will not remember which one is what, so bear with me on that. Just about everything has germinated. If you see the ones that are clipped like that, those haven't germinated yet. But you can tell they're almost all open. That's echinacea. Echinacea is not locally native to me. Native to the US though. Oh, look. Little babies. Bigger babies. Oh, so little. Several on this table still are closed, all of these ones in the middle. That's the arugula. I did not get that in the ground and it has bolted. Little baby roses. Violet. So if you are looking for native plant information, particularly if you're in New England, you're gonna have it coming up. Spring and summer, gonna have lots of that content. A couple other fun things. Peppermint's coming back. Pussy toe's coming back. Stevia I overwintered, potted up. More coneflower. Siberian iris. Look at this. I am loving the feverfew right here. Look at it. I think it's time for a harvest actually. So I'm gonna cut it back so it'll stay a little shorter. A little daisy in there. Amsonia, Zizia. I think there's another Zizia hiding. That is the northern flag iris, I guess. Northern flag. Native iris. More feverfew. Look at those iris leaves. They're so pretty. I gotta get some more of these. I actually started some seed. No idea if the seed grew or not. I started some last year too and didn't have any luck. And back where I started, here is our bare dirt project. A little less bare. A little less bare. So I used perennial rye and oilseed radish. And the oilseed radish is going to be not part of the lawn ultimately, but it's there to help break up the compaction and sort of treat the soil. So you can see those are the sort of brighter dots of green among the grass. I am weaning it. All of the seed has germinated and I'm starting to wean it from the sprinklers. Native mint. This is the Canada Mentha canadensis. Smells delicious. Fringe tree has buds. Some blooms on my blueberry up here. Last up, we have the vegetable garden. I might do that in a day or two. I'm about to get some things planted in it today or tomorrow. Crimson king maple. So many more leaves than just like a week ago. Mostly everything in the garden is small. Except for the garlic, of course. The garlic has been in the ground since October, November. Should be watching for some garlic scapes soon. But they're big. They are, well, these, the littlest of them are about knee high. And the biggest of them are about hip high. So they're coming along nicely. You can see I've got onions. That's a little bit of dill. And I just started to put in the celery and celeriac. You can see I've got them spaced out. I've got some flowers in the garden. This is calendula. I put the calendula on the corners of some of these beds. And I've started to put in some other flowers along with the calendula. That is an African marigold. And I just put in these nigella. Looking a little weary. I think they'll perk up though. So, dill, onions, garlic, nigella, and soon celery and celeriac. And I'll have a little more space for something else. And, oh, right, let me not forget the lisianthus. Look at that one. They are looking happy. Here. I can't wait to see what these look like. Here's some celery waiting to go in. Leeks. All the alliums. Onions, leeks, garlic. Over here, I have snapdragons. And marigolds. Same over there. And up here. They're growing nice. This is a self-seeded cornflower. Garlic. Lots of garlic. So garlic lining the path here, onions on either side here, and then chamomile. The whole way down. A couple of Inca 2 marigolds. This whole row full of garlic. And I capped right back here with some arugula, wild arugula. And the raspberries, look at them. I started getting the trellis in. I need to get it wrapped soon. Look at that. There we go. Look. We're gonna have raspberries shortly. I still haven't moved the onions, but I did clean out the beds. I mean, my goodness, look at that. I still have some beds to do. And a couple of things waiting. More chamomile, the summer squash, down here hanging out with the peas. Peas have been in the ground since March. And the arugula, which has started to go to flower. I am going to basically harvest the pods, the seed pods. I was thinking of maybe trying to pickle some. Should be kind of neat. And I've got peas over here in the garlic and lots. I need to deal with this bed here. Still got a little work to do. I'll show you this though. This parsley I put in last year and it survived the winter. So I'm thinking with my parsley this year, since they seem to survive the winter, maybe they can anchor the corners to help me know where the corners are each year. But let's just end this little garden tour in the veg garden with these garlic. Look at these. Here. Bigger than last year. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up this May garden tour. Just take a look at all of that right back there. That is promise. I can't wait to see what happens. Everything's really small, but it's nice to see it when it looks a little bit like a blank slate. And all of the perennials have started to grow really well. Some of them are still really small, but we'll see what they bring us this year. So much promise for the future. That's what May is. Lots of hard work, and promise for the future. Bye.